Hello and welcome to the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post. I'm Mohit Lalwani to take you through all the racing action this weekend from around the world. We start in Singapore, catch a flight to Australia, come back to Mumbai and eventually land up in Ireland and Kentucky. But let's start right at the top with what is a fascinating story of Rocket Man just ahead of the Chris Flyer Sprint. We have a very special feature on the cards for you today. Yes, I'm with, well, he's yawning, but I'm with our champion, Rocket Man. And well, what can one say about this horse? He truly is a marvel. He's a revelation. And to talk us through Rocket Man and, you know, what he's like behind the scenes, I've got with me his master, his trainer, a man who knows him probably better than anyone else does, Patrick Shaw. Pac, look, what's your first reaction when you look at a horse like this, when you're with him, when you're in his presence?
Well, obviously, just his presence, as you see, he's a wonderful animal. He's intelligent. He knows what's happening around him, and I think it's just a privilege to train a horse like him.
All right, let's go back to Dubai and let's talk about that experience itself. You know, we were watching it on television and we saw the excitement, but the build-up, let's talk about that first. How difficult was it? You know, sometimes the waiting is more difficult than the race itself.
So that's the worst part about it, because every day you go to the track, you know, it's racing, horses have got to work, there could be minor injuries, there could be injuries, so every day the anticipation of getting it over with, getting the track work over with, checking him afterwards, checking if they're eating, coming back in the afternoon, you know, it's a huge stress.
Now in the morning, just before the race actually went off, you heard Kinsale King had been scratched. What were your thoughts going through that?
You know, funny enough, I respected him, but on last year's running, I wasn't too worried about him because I thought I could have beaten him quite easily last time. The way the race planned out, it never happened, but I wasn't too worried about him. I was more worried about the second horse.
You were more worried about the second horse, unknown quantity over from the US, a lot of speed. They do carry a lot of speed with them. And the race itself, you know, when they turned for home, it just looked like that second horse just seemed to be traveling a little bit better. Just for a moment or two, I for one, just for a second got concerned again. Were you concerned at all?
Yeah, obviously, you know, when Bob Effett he was a great court horse trainer, so you know he knows how to train a speed horse. That's his forte.
And in that last furlong, when you saw him closing, it was a monkey off your back, wasn't it?
Yeah, obviously I like to wait till past the post. I could see 150 out, we had him cold.
And looking back, you know, it had been frustrating till then. You know, he's won Group 1 races in Singapore, but that international Group 1 had eluded him so far. And all three times, you know, there was enough for us to go back to the drawing board and say he was unlucky. Were you at all thinking that, look, it's just not in his destiny? Were you at all?
No, I always knew we're going to get it. And I always told him we're going to get it. It's just a matter of when, but he's going to get it. And I think it's more anticipation for the club, the owner. It's more frustration that we know he should have had one or two, and we hadn't got them as yet. So it was a huge relief, I think, to everybody.
I mean, what makes him the champion he is when you see him in his stall?
Well, obviously, he's a quiet horse. He stands in his corner normally. If nobody's bothering him, he'll stand in that corner over there. He's got his same corner. And when you walk him around here, if there's nobody around, you can drag him around. As soon as he sees a bit of activity and people, and then he starts to pump himself up. As you see at the race course, the same thing. But walking around the normal yard here, he's a normal horse.
Looking ahead, we've got the Lion City Cup and then the Chris Flyer Sprint. Now, you've already won your Group 1 International, but how important is this one going to be?
Obviously, this is home turf. It'll be great for the Singaporeans to come and watch him live, to see him in action live, and it'll be great for him to win it. But I think it's going to be a strong competitive race, and you know, hopefully we can put it off.
Now, again, it's something that can't be helped. You know, people are talking about a potential matchup at some stage between him and Australia's champion, Mare Black Caviar. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it'll be great. I think because I've got a lot of respect for her. I've seen her race. They race very similar. The times are very similar, except she hasn't done a 107 around the turn.
That's right. Now, my last question to you, Patrick, is something you and I discussed 2 years ago, you know, when we were doing some pedigree study and analysis on Rocket Man. And I asked you, you know, as they get older, they tend to stay a bit. Any temptation there?
Yeah, obviously it's been in my mind, and a lot of people have been speculating and saying, this horse will go further, but I always say don't fix what's not broken.
Well, and truly a great story there, but we'll stay with another great story from Australia. NatureVet is a company that's changed many an equine life.
One of the most remarkable success stories in the horse racing industry is about a company called NatureVet. Based out of Australia, NatureVet has serviced the global and Indian racing markets with years of high-quality products and services. Products and services that have worked not just at helping a racehorse to be a better performer at the races, but a happier horse at home too. It was therefore not surprising that NatureVet was acquired to play a larger role in a bigger pie.
Well, NatureVet has recently been incorporated into the animal health division of the French company Siva, who have a global presence in animal health. This union should allow NatureVet to continue to be a leader in the products that are required for sporting, pleasure and companion animals.
With a wide range of NatureVet products developed over the years, the company has a keen understanding of the requirements of equine athletes at not just different levels of development, but of different levels of training and management as well.
Well, the main aim of NatureVet has always been to look at all of the parts of the animals that require treatment. So with racehorses in particular, we have treatments for foot problems, for joint injuries, to other products that are related to the muscles that are used during racing, also respiratory, and also looking at the blood system as well. So the products are a good range and they're all based on trials that have been done on these horses.
Horse racing puts great stress on a horse's limbs, and the wear and tear on the joints require great management. In this regard, one of the most popular products in the market is NatureVet's Pentosan. While Pentosan has stood the test of time, the improvement process by NatureVet has continued to innovate and create.
Well, Pentosan has got a history of being a well-run company, NatureVet, which has produced the product, and you know that what you get is exactly what you're getting. But at NatureVet at the moment are going to release trial results of some very new innovative joint treatments in November in Australia, which will have a big effect worldwide on animals.
Buying a NatureVet product is simple for breeders and trainers in Asia. They are distributed by the award-winning firm Mano Equestrian Services, which is based out of Singapore.
NatureVet has a distributor in Singapore, which is Mano Equestrian, and everything channels through him as a hub. So anybody wishing to acquire the products, that is the company to go to. So Mano Equestrian, and it's a well-known company in India. I've travelled with Mano over there many times, and he is well known in the industry.
Well, we've been in business for last 16 years, and last 6 years we have taken over the distributorship of NatureVet products into the regional market, and using Singapore as a hub, we supply to 10 over countries, including subcontinent of India and East Asia as well. The added advantage of being a main distributor of NatureVet products gives us A, competitive in pricing, 2, quality of the product, 3, innovation of newer products that has come into the equine industry. And of course, apart from what we do, we create a lot of what we call branding and educational seminars to enlighten our customers all about the newest product and how a good product can help the horses perform better in the industry.
Well, it's time for a short break here on the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post. We'll come right back. There's plenty more. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post, and with the Western India season coming to an end, Tata Housing hosted the annual Racing Awards. Vivek Jain took us through what was an eventful season, even as Tata Housing provided us with some sensational performances. Take a look at these.
Third Tata Housing Equine Racing Excellence Awards night was a spectacular success, with a sellout attendance of over 1,500 at the Mahalakshmi Racecourse. The awards night had some scintillating performances put up by singers, fashion designers and dancers. The chairman of the RWITC, Mr. Vivek Jain, presented the Mumbai racing season's roundup.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 44 days of exhilarating sport, the best racing in the country, and events and the sport of racing. The figures for the season, as we have several members races at the Bombay season, which makes it the biggest racing season by number at a single season of racing. But it's not only the number, it's also the biggest in terms of quality.
Mr. Vivek Jain acknowledged the contribution of young Turks like Amit Sethia and Kaustubh Bedekar for their contribution towards the racing awards. Mr. and Mrs. Vijay B. Shirke were awarded leading owners of the season with 25 points, and the leading owner for 10 or fewer horses was in the spotlight as well. Captain Jamshed J. Appu took it away with 14.75 points. Then came the time for declaring the leading syndicate. Glittering with solitaires was Begum Sherbanu as she walked up on stage to receive it with her partners for the solitaire racing syndicate with 20 points.
Well, this syndicate is about 4 years old. This is not the first award it has won. It has won, I think every year it wins the award. Now the horses are quite old, they will retire. And I have 3 or 4 more syndicates after this. Inshallah, God willing, I hope they will do well also.
Leading trainer, undoubtedly and much to nobody's surprise, was awarded to Pacey Shroff with 30 points. Then came the time to declare the leading trainer for 20 or fewer horses, and Sanjay Kolse with 21 points took it away and marched up the stage with much pride.
It's been a good season. I've had my best horse Bling win about 3 races for me in Bombay. She's got a good future in the terms races, and my couple of youngsters who are going to do well for the future. I would like to thank all my staff, and special thanks to Mr. Sherry Kapoor, who's my work jockey. And thanks to RWITC.
Jockey B. Prakash, who won the leading jockey award with 23 points, revealed he favoured Cardinal over Hachiko and feels the Bangalore season is something he's well geared up for.
Particular reason why your favourite is Cardinal over Hachiko?
I love that horse a lot. I work him every day, and he really goes well with me. So he's really like one sweetheart for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the leading jockey claiming allowance. Please put your hands together for champion in the making, Akshay.
Leading allowance jockey was awarded to Akshay with 30 points. Third Tata Housing Equine Racing Excellence Awards night was not just about racing awards. There were 2 young ladies who also ended up mesmerizing the audience, and we've caught them in their changing act on camera. And then came the time to know who the leading sire of India really was.
Ladies and gentlemen, the leading sire, Placerville. Could I request Mr. Zawari Poonawala to please come up?
Mr. Zawari Poonawala was spotted walking up the ramp with a hint of nostalgia in his eyes for Placerville that won with 124 points.
Placerville passed away in the first covering of the season. Do you miss Placerville?
Yes, very much. He was a great horse with terrific pedigree. It was totally international. His performance was international, but it was sad we lost him too early. He could have given a few more years to us and to India and to Indian racing. But he will definitely live through his daughters, many of them who have been very good race mares and champions, and they'll produce horses which I think will give us memories of Placeable for the years to come.
How has been the Bombay season this year for you?
Well, very nice. One of the greatest seasons we have had. We've had 7 years of champion stud farm. This is going to be our 8th year. Placeable has done very well, that's why he got the Champions Award. The stallion Al Nasser did even better with In the Spotlight, who I believe, if not the very best racehorse ever on Indian turf, she's one of the best on Indian turf. And if she goes abroad, I'm sure she's going to create laurels for Indian racing, Indian breeding and all of us.
The leading horse was awarded to Cardinal with 35 points.
Moving on to the next category, ladies and gentlemen, the leading filly or mare. May I request Mr. Jeffrey Nagpal, member of the managing committee and steward of the club, to please come up to do the honours. Leading filly or mare. Smashing, please put your hands together for Pacey Shroff.
The leading filly/mare was won by Dr. Vijay Mallya Smashing with 26 points, whose performance, well, resonates with her name.
Ladies and gentlemen, the champion winning horse, please put your hands together for Bling.
And of course, one of the upcoming trainers of the Indian horse racing fraternity, Adhiraj Singh Jodha, walked the stage in much pride to receive Special Achievement Award for Ranthambore as his family graced the occasion in full support.
It was really tough. It played on my patience quite a bit. It was actually thanks to my father that, I kept going with this horse, because a lot of times I thought that I would probably give up on him because he was really problematic. But we stuck to it, and he proved it in the end that he's really good.
Mr. Jagdish, the champion jockey of yesteryears, was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Could I request Sherry Kapoor to please come up and accept the award on behalf of Jagdish? Sherry, can you come up on the stage, please? Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Jagdish once again.
While the award night had 3 segments, every segment saw a lot of colour being splashed all over the stage with some breathtaking performances organised by Tata Housing.
Well, in a truly glittering evening there, courtesy Tata Housing. On that note, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll catch up with the classics from across the continent. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post. Now it's time for our international roundup. The weekend was a big one with the English 1000 and 2000 guineas and the Kentucky Derby. Take a look at this one.
The crowd was a record breaker with 165,000 people last Saturday. And with the crowd on its feet, it was J. Paul Reddim's I'll Have Another, the 3-year-old Chestnut Gold and the Santa Anita Derby winner, who stormed out of post 19 to win the 138th Kentucky Derby at Churchill Downs. With Mexican jockey Mario Gutierrez taking his first ever ride in the race, he became the 42nd jockey to win in his first try at the Derby. The race kicked off without any drama, and I'll Have Another, who was at 15-1, tracked the pace which was set by the three-time Derby winning trainer Bob Baffert's Bodmeister, who finally finished second. After trying to lead all the way, Bodmeister finished second, becoming yet another beaten favourite. Mike Smith on the mount of Bodmeister kicked 5 lengths clear rounding the final turn and looked all set to win the Run of the Roses before his mount looked like it started to tie down the stretch. I'll Have Another then pulled clear over the last furlong and emerged as the clear winner. A further neck behind Bodmeister was Donegal Racing's Dullahan, 8-1, and the second favourite Union Rags at 9-2 placed 7th in the 20-horse field. I'll Have Another is a son of Flower Alley who has bad distorted humour. With a dosage profile of 2, 4, 1, 7, 0 and dosage index of 2.10, I'll Have Another looks to have plenty of stamina influence in his pedigree. A day later, the fillies equivalent, the Quipco 1000 Guinea, saw a demonstration of domination as homecoming queen thrashed her rivals by 9 astonishing lengths. Also from the Ballydoyle stable, but lesser fancied than stablemate Maybe, HQ with Ryan Moore on board was well ahead of Starscorp at the finish. The race that got delayed by half an hour after Grey Pearl injured herself in the stalls had Ryan Moore emerge as the homecoming king, as he never saw the sight of another horse once they were off and racing. Quipco 2000 Guineas over the straight mile had an impressive lineup of 3-year-olds. Camelot from the powerful Ballydoyle stable maintained his unbeaten record on Saturday as he came with a storming late run to land the 204th running of the Classic. O'Brien's 15-8 favourite looked to have plenty to do in terms of strategy with a few furlongs to run in this messy race. The master trainer's son Joseph did not panic and showed nerve and maturity beyond his years as he snatched victory on his father's colt Camelot. He coolly treaded his way through to unleash a late charge that gave him a neck verdict over French 15 at the line. The field broke into 3 groups from the stalls, with Abdal on the far side. Casper and Nestor were showing up well in the centre, and Redact and Trumpet Major were leading the horses on the stand side. Casper, Nestor and Trumpet Major set sail for home 2 furlongs out but could not sustain their runs. Camelot, a son of French Derby winner Montaigu, would have enjoyed the going and will target the Epsom Derby next.
Well, and the early favourite for the Preakness Stakes is Bodmeister, but here at the winning post, we believe that I'll Have Another will win the Preakness as well. That's from Tipping Tim, and that's all we have on this Fly Kingfisher winning post. Till I see you next week, goodbye, thank you, and may the horse be with you.
Fly Kingfisher winning post is powered by the Serum Institute of India and Hidco Industries.